In this episode, I am going to tell you how you can become ordained and then know that your ordination is legal. Stay tuned. Have you ever heard people talking online, or maybe a friend saying, hey, I know you got ordained to officiate that wedding, but you got ordained online, so I know it ain't legal? Well, I'm going to show you how to become ordained and understand and know that your ordination is legal. Hey everybody, my name's Chad Muncie. Welcome to Grow My Officiant Business. So what is ordination? Ordination is usually the requirement, anyway in the United States it is, for someone who wants to marry or help someone solemnize their marriage, which is basically performing the ceremony, signing the paperwork. We would call that a wedding officiant or a wedding minister. There are a lot of different titles, but most of the time the requirement is for someone to be ordained. And sometimes the local government will require them to also register. But we want to talk about ordination. What is ordination? The term ordination is defined as having been decreed, appointed, or formally established by some type of authority. Now, in the case of weddings, every state has their own law on the solemnization of marriage, or on who can perform the solemnization of marriage. I say solemnization of marriage because that is the legal term that they put in the books. But they have their own law that they have written on who can perform a wedding ceremony legally. Now, how do you get ordained? Well, there are typically two ways to get ordained. You can get ordained online. There are many different places. If you look up Get Ordained and put that in Google, you'll literally come up with hundreds, maybe even thousands of results on how to get ordained online. A lot of times it's just free. You're putting your information in. The other way, which a lot of people would argue that this way is the only legit way, is to go through a ministry, go through a church, or some organization like that where you're actually in person and you go through a board and they question you and they teach you, and then at the end of all that, you get a certificate. You are ordained. Now, is one better than the other? If you're going to go into a ministry and you're going to be seen by people who, to hire you, want to see a degree, then sure, going the second way, through a board, through a ministry, through a church, and getting ordained that way is obviously the better choice. But if you're going to just marry people, the one main thing that you need to understand is what the law says. So you need to know that some states won't accept just an online ordination. Some states require you to be recognized by filing and registering with the state or with the county. How do you know that? Well, I'm going to put a website right here, and I want you to go to that website and check it out. Now I'm going to put another one. Pause the video if you need to. Look at that one, and then I am going to put one more. Now, the last one, the amm.org/weddings-by-state, they actually keep an up-to-date law registry. They show each of the laws of each of the states. You can look up your state and it will tell you what the law says. So the first step is read that law and understand what it says and what is required. If it says that you have to be ordained by some organization, then yes, you can go online and you can get ordained by an organization online. There is nothing that says you can't, that the online organization is void if it's online. Now, if the state obviously says something in the law that online ordinations are not legal, then of course they're not. However, most of the time I've seen that most states just require it to be some organization ordaining you, in which case online would be fine. The next thing that you want to do is contact your local government, your county, the county you live in, and the county that you'll be performing a wedding ceremony in. Call them and see what they require of you to perform a wedding ceremony and to sign the license. Tell them, I got ordained, what is required. For instance, let me tell you a little story. I know a gentleman who got ordained online, and he did all of the things required. He got his certificate, and he went to Virginia. And Virginia has a few steps. One of the steps is you have to be ordained, and another step is you have to register. Well, he did both, and one of the counties denied him. So he said, okay, I'll go to my neighboring county. He went to the neighboring county, and they approved him. So another thing that I urge you to do is if you go somewhere, if you've read the law and you understand, I've done everything it says, and you go to one county and they say, nope, for some reason, go to another county and you may get it. I've heard this story over and over. Sometimes it has something to do with the person who's not a judge, who's not a lawyer, but just the person who is taking in the paperwork. And for some reason, they deny it. The main thing is that you understand what the law is. You understand if there are any extra steps in your county, in your local government. And once you do that, you need to understand what the procedure is. If you are ordained and if you're going to marry people, make sure you understand all of the legalities. Make sure you understand how you need to say things, if you need to pronounce them, when you need to pronounce that, how you have to do that to make it legal. The wedding license, you need to read into all this and do research. And I will be putting out some more videos on these topics, but I hope now that you understand whether or not you are ordained, if not, what you have to do to become ordained, and how you can know for sure that you are legal. Listen, this is Grow My Officiant Business, and I'm so happy that you joined me today. Please subscribe, hit the bell, and I will see you again next time.